Hey, there's the stove. That's where the stove's going. Underneath here, I considered leaving that blank. That's a big space though. We just got to make sure that the stove can breathe. The oven breathes from underneath. So as long as they know that, and they know that, and I'll remind them. So we're going to put a door on this. And then these will be doors right here. We're going to put a shelf where this is, all the way back. And I'll probably just put some small dividers, not all the way up, just some small dividers across. And here, if you go up, 4, 5, 6 inches, whatever. And that'll keep things from just bumping over there. That's all we really need. Came out nice. I'm just trying to leave it as wide open as I can, because in these small campers, you need every bit. That's not structural, it's coming out. All of those are. You need every bit of space you can get. Every bit of space. So that's what we're doing. So I think my next step is going to be to install a shelf there, put up some blocking right there, and I don't know, I may go all the way up because of the stove, but I kind of like to leave it open and give it another opportunity to breathe, but maybe not. That may be too much. So, not too much, it's not necessary, I think is what I meant to say. I'll burn that bridge when I get to it. If anything, I will only cover this top part, I think. But I'm going to get to it and, get to it. Just quit talking about it. Get it shellacked. Do something. Here's where we stand. Let me change my altitude. How about that? So, you can see we got everything finished out. Put in the shelf. Put in a divider there. I have not done anything down here yet. I will. I'm not in a hurry to do it right this minute. Well, there's Curly. And up here is where the stove goes. I have not yet test fit it. We've got everything bubble on. So I feel good about that. Moving it from out there to in here is a good thing. So this is finished. That's just daylight from out there. Don't you worry about that. I mean, worry as much as Curly's worried. Not a bit. Not a care in the world. Jeez. So there will be the potty closet area. So that tape line right there is where the cabinet comes out to accept the refrigerator. Then we will have from here all the way up for what happened there? For a closet. And then we're going to add on to that one another closet the best we can right there. And then we will switch over to this side and try to mimic something over there to over here. Things are getting a little tight, as Curly can tell you. It's perfect size, he says. Then I think I will fit our wall that we've already built. We'll fit that wall, and that'll give us our idea of how we're going to frame in for the refrigerator. That'll be a great thing for after lunch. Then I'll have my, at that point, I think I'm going to put on the front, because I need this to anchor to there. And once I have that anchored, I can then cut my countertop And as you saw, we do have the Wilson art. Okay, let me go eat my lunch and think about this. All right. I was getting ready to show you what I'm going to do, but then I said, you know what? I think I need to tell you something. You might find it interesting. So anyway, you've seen this much. I did, while you were gone, put up some welting. Now there's going to be a cabinet up there, so that's why I stopped right there, and then it'll go on the cabinet. My next step is I have this piece right here for the potty closet and to cut out for the refrigerator. So I went ahead, while I was doing the welting, I got the welting on it. I left some extra because we're going to go out about another 19 to 20 inches and come down with the other cabinet. So I was getting ready to load that up, and I thought, well, if I'm going to put this in, I've got to put the front of the roof on, because I've got to suck this up this way a little bit and get it mounted and make it secure. That's all. Well, actually make it square. It's already secure. It's got plenty of screws in it. But I want to get it squared up, and that's what this does right here. One of the things it does. So I was getting ready to do that, and I thought, have you ever, maybe you haven't, play along with me, have you ever wondered why the customers seem so surprised on the day of the reveal? Well, surely they've been seeing pictures and videos all along. Well, number one, we run about 4 to 5 weeks behind, which could be 10 videos behind on our videos. Just because we have so many videos to get out, thank goodness, business has been good. But we also, when I run into something cool, I want to show it to you. Like this video right here. This is just for you. So that video-wise, they've already filmed their reveal about halfway through. But yes, I do send photos because I want them to know that I'm working. I want them to know that I'm doing what they've asked me to do. And this would look similar to the very last picture that the customers got. That's it. I won't send them anything else. It doesn't matter how much they beg and plead with me. I will not do it. And I did take a video or a photo from back here. Because as soon as I start adding anything, 2 more steps, and it's going to be very close to what it's going to look like. 3 more days, this thing is going to look really close to what it's going to look like. So, in the interest of not only them having a good reaction for the reveal, I want you guys to see an honest reaction. And it does make me feel good when they're happy. You know, because there's always that one chance that they're like, well, I didn't ask for that. Well, you got it anyway. Okay, can I have my money back? No. So, you know, it's never gone like that bad. But I like them to have the excitement of that reveal. And you've seen a lot of customers that have had that reveal and have really enjoyed having that surprise moment. Because I do put things in there they didn't ask for. I do things differently than they asked for. And so far, that's always worked out well. Camper talks, I listen. But anyway, I'm going to put this up. And I just wanted to share a little behind-the-scenes action with you. And I'll get right back with you. So now I can tell you what I did. I think we got the front on. Like I told you, I did test the stove, and we're going to talk about that. It fit pretty good. I did make a calculable mistake. And so the reason I got this on here was to tighten this up, because it was pulling this way a little bit, but it had to snug up there so that it can be square. And now everything is square, so we can make and set our countertop. Oh boy, I tell you, this is tight. But I got the refrigerator in. So remember, we made that door, got the door in, I put the welting on it. I thought a little welting would look good here. We left quite a bit open really for it to vent, but there's going to be no problem with the venting. I've got to do a little touch up there. But it opens up just fine. All right, and you can see that I built the frame. I screwed it into the wall here, then we screwed it in here. That is part of this frame, and there's that piece that goes across there as well that's all glued. Everything is glued, not over here, but everything that's on this door was glued in. So, attached down there, attached right here. We are, it's very, very sturdy, and plus we got all this room to breathe, top, bottom. Not so much on the sides, a little bit, but we don't necessarily need the side for the heat to rise when it can pop out here if it gets real crazy. But I mean, really, it's just going to come up here, and you know, it'll be fine. More than fine. It will be good. Next steps. Oh, let me tell you about this stove. I said I'd tell you about the stove. It's not really the stove's fault, believe it or not. Anyway, I put that in there, and I thought that I had my 3/4 here, but this is so snugged up to the edge, it popped out. And it took about 1/4 or so inch away from what I need. So the 3/4 door frame and that bit that sticks out from the stove cannot coexist. So what I think I'm going to do when I get ready to do this door, and I've done this before, this is do it 3 or 4 times theater. I just got super close, I thought, but it's not a big deal. And it looks good like this, the way I'm getting ready to tell you. You would never know. What I'll do is I'll find exactly how far this comes out. I'll install it, and then I'll mark it. And let's say, just for the sake of argument, it's that mark right there, okay? Now, it doesn't start till over here, so we've got plenty of room, but I like to use, I think, 3 or 3.5 inch door jamb. So anyway, let's say for the sake of argument, that is our mark. And if I go to that mark, I will clear the stove, okay? So what I will do is I will get my bubble on, and I will cut exactly that much out. And then I will place the 3/4 piece. Oh man, I wish I had a piece here. I did a minute ago. But I would take a piece. Let me just get one real quick. Hey, look, let's do some pretend great camera work. Here's a piece right there. I was using the router earlier. That's what I wanted to show you. Okay, so if normally it would sit like this, now it will sit like that. So, and you won't see, whoa, sorry. You won't see that because the skin will cover it up, okay? It'd be just the same as if this were here. So we'll cut out almost, we're probably gonna cut out about 1/2 inch. Then we will place the door frame this way, which means that we have to measure from right here over to here and get this cut at 19 and 7/8 plus 3/4. And then this side will sit like this as well. And up here as well. So that's what will happen there. We don't have to do it on the floor. The floor will be just fine the way it sits. So there's a threshold. So that's how I'm going to solve that problem that I created for myself by trying to be Mr. Measuring once, cut several times. But anyway, hey, okay, enough about my problems. Let's talk about my successes. How about that? I like it. I like it a lot. You can see this is all sucked up nice and tight. So tomorrow, I almost want to do, it's going to be kind of an odd countertop because it's going all the way to here. Then it has to be covered up there and over. I think what I will do so that I don't waste the whole mess of it is to come to here. No, wait. That's just, no, I'm just gonna waste it. Because I've got to build the countertop. It's not just this. I'm not just gonna lay it across here. That'd be a little flimsy, wouldn't it? But the thing is, this whole spot here is gonna be cut out for the sink. This whole setup is cut out. It's just gonna be wasteful. I could cut the countertop first and then stop here, cut this out, cut that out, and then stop with the Wilson art here, and then just take a strip here and a strip there, and then router it out. But I mean, then you're working super hard just to, you know, that stuff's not that expensive. It's already paid for. I'm number one on saving the customer money, but we want this done right, and that's what we're gonna do. So we're just gonna do it that way. It's gonna be a little wasteful on this deal. But the customer does want a cutout for their sink, to sit on their sink. So we will probably take this piece, and that'll give us at least one, maybe two shots at it. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay. I promise I'm not going to be wasteful on purpose. So my choice is tomorrow, build the countertop, set the sink. Or do the door as we discussed. Or build this portion of the not the potty closet. There we go. Well, I better go in. It's really hot, and I can tell that I have worked enough because my camera work is worse than usual. Those are my three things, and look at how great that looks over there. Man alive. All right. I'll get to you tomorrow.